A passenger plane full of people accidentally sank into the ocean, but surprisingly, everyone on board was unharmed. Not even a single drop of seawater leaked into the cabin. Even so, there was no relief on their faces, only despair. Because at a depth of over 100 meters, the plane's radio no longer worked. And inside this cramped cabin, their oxygen supply was slowly running out. Some passengers had already passed out. Just when everyone was losing hope, the captain brought over a package, and that instantly reignited their hope. Inside was a signal transmitter. As long as they could send it up to the surface, they could call for help. But the plan was extremely dangerous. One small mistake could cost someone their life. To be safe, they decided to send 2 people. That way, if one didn't make it, the other could still finish the mission. The captain and another passenger quickly made their way to the aircraft door. First, they sealed the steel door inside the cabin to prevent seawater from rushing in. But just as they finished and were about to open the hatch,
Don't get too close to the door.
a powerful force slammed the passenger unconscious. Luckily, the captain was unharmed, but as he prepared to continue, he discovered his oxygen tank was leaking. With no other choice, he threw it away, quickly opened the package, and now completely on his own, used every ounce of strength he had to swim up through 100 meters of water. He had no time to waste. He immediately climbed onto an open air valve and activated the distress signal. Their effort wasn't in vain. A fleet conducting naval drills nearby detected the signal. Once the location was confirmed, a rescue ship was dispatched immediately. The captain was successfully rescued, and after learning there were still survivors below, the commander quickly sent a rescue team down to the ocean floor. But when they reached the plane, they were shocked. With just a few people, rescue was impossible. If they opened the cabin door, seawater would instantly flood inside, and the massive pressure would crush everyone. Left with no choice, they returned to the surface and reported the situation. A new rescue plan was made. In the end, they decided the only safe option was to lift the entire plane out of the sea. The team went back underwater, threaded a harness beneath the aircraft, attached it to a massive air balloon, and connected an inflation tube. Once everything was ready, everyone evacuated the plane and rushed back to the surface. At the commander's order, the air pumps were activated. The balloon quickly filled with air, and the aircraft began to rise. Soon, the nose of the plane broke the surface. No one dared to waste a second. They rushed in to rescue the passengers, because the cables were snapping one by one. If they didn't act fast, everything they had done would be for nothing. Fortunately, all passengers were rescued in time. But just as they were about to evacuate, the cables at the tail suddenly snapped. A female passenger was thrown back into the plane. In that critical moment, the team leader had no choice but to go back. But the plane was already sinking again, and seawater was flooding in. With no other option, he grabbed the passenger and rushed to the cockpit, the only place not yet filled with water. He opened the hatch, pushed the woman out, then jumped out himself. With the help of a helicopter, they both narrowly escaped death, but the massive passenger plane sank into the ocean forever.